Hey everyone, welcome to Mongolia. This is a land where the past and present collide in the most fascinating ways. From the ancient traditions that have been passed down through generations to the modern influences that are slowly making their way into everyday life, Mongolia is a place of incredible contrasts. This landlocked country, right in the heart of Asia, is a land of extremes. It's a place where you can find some of the most diverse landscapes on the planet, from the arid expanses of the Gobi Desert to the lush, green valleys nestled between towering mountain ranges. We're talking scorching hot summers and winters that will freeze your nose off. The temperature can swing wildly, making it a place of both beauty and harshness. It's a true test of endurance and adaptability for anyone who calls this place home. Think vast open plains and mountains that seem to touch the sky. The sheer scale of the landscape is awe-inspiring, and it's easy to feel a sense of freedom and adventure when you're out here, surrounded by nothing but nature. And that's exactly where I am today, surrounded by this raw, untouched beauty. It's a place that feels almost otherworldly, like stepping back in time to a world that hasn't been touched by modern civilization. It's a real test of survival out here, let me tell you. The people who live here are some of the toughest and most resilient you'll ever meet. They have to be, to thrive in such a challenging environment. The landscape is so stunning, it just takes your breath away. Every sunrise and sunset paints the sky with colors that seem almost too beautiful to be real. It's a place that inspires awe and wonder at every turn. It's easy to see why people have always been drawn to this place. From the early explorers who first set foot here to the modern-day adventurers seeking new experiences, Mongolia has a magnetic pull that captivates the imagination. For centuries, nomads have wandered these lands, living in harmony with nature and relying on their animals to survive. Their way of life is deeply connected to the rhythms of the natural world, and it's a tradition that has been passed down through countless generations. But things are changing in Mongolia. The modern world is starting to make its presence felt, and the old ways are beginning to bump up against the new. It's a time of transition and transformation, and it's fascinating to see how the country is evolving. The modern world is starting to creep in, and the old ways are bumping up against the new. You can see it in the cities where traditional yurts stand side by side with modern buildings, and in the countryside where young people are embracing new technologies while still holding on to their cultural heritage. It's a super interesting time to be here, to see this transformation happening right before my eyes. The blend of old and new creates a unique and dynamic atmosphere that is unlike anywhere else in the world. But you know what? One thing remains constant: the spirit of the Mongolian people. They are incredibly proud of their heritage and their connection to the land, and that pride shines through in everything they do. They are tough, resourceful, and deeply connected to this land they call home. No matter how much things change, that spirit of resilience and connection to the natural world will always be a defining feature of life in Mongolia. You can't talk about Mongolian culture without talking about nomadic herding. It's a way of life that's deeply ingrained in the Mongolian identity, a tradition that has shaped the landscape and the people for centuries. Nomadic herding isn't just a job, it's a way of life that's been passed down for generations. The bond between the herders and their animals is almost sacred. For centuries, nomadic families have depended on their herds for everything: their food, their clothes, even their homes. The knowledge and skills required to sustain this lifestyle are handed down from one generation to the next, ensuring that the traditions live on. The animals provide not just sustenance but also materials for clothing and shelter. The jurs, or traditional felt tents, are made from the wool of their sheep, and their diet is rich in dairy and meat products from their livestock. Life as a nomad is no walk in the park, let me tell you. It's a constant battle against the elements. The Mongolian steppe can be unforgiving, with harsh winters and scorching summers. The nomads have to be incredibly resilient to survive. They endure snowstorms, protect their animals from predators, and navigate the vast open plains with an intimate knowledge of the land. But it's also a life of freedom. The open plains offer a sense of boundless space and the opportunity to live in harmony with nature. Nomads have this deep connection with nature. They understand the land's rhythm, the changing seasons, and the behavior of their animals. This connection is something truly special. They respect the animals they depend on and the land that sustains them. This mutual respect is the cornerstone of their way of life. I've been lucky enough to spend time with nomadic families, and I've learned so much from them. Their resilience, their resourcefulness, and their sense of community are truly inspiring. They've shown me what resilience truly means, how to make do with what you have, and the incredible importance of community. In a world that often feels disconnected, the nomads remind us of the value of close-knit relationships and mutual support. The nomadic lifestyle is facing some tough challenges these days, from climate change to modernization. But the spirit of the nomads is strong. They're adapting to the changing times, finding new ways to keep their traditions alive. Whether it's through integrating modern technology or finding innovative solutions to environmental challenges, the nomads are determined to preserve their way of life. Their ability to adapt while staying true to their roots is a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. The incredible importance of community cannot be overstated. In the face of adversity, the nomads come together, supporting each other and sharing resources. The nomadic lifestyle is facing some tough challenges these days, but the spirit of the nomads is strong. They're adapting to the changing times, finding new ways to keep their traditions alive. They're adapting to the changing times, finding new ways to keep their traditions alive. They're integrating modern elements into their traditional lifestyle, using technology to improve their herding practices and stay connected with the wider world. Yet, despite these changes, the essence of their way of life remains the same. The spirit of Mongolia lives on in the hearts of its nomads, a testament to their enduring legacy and unbreakable bond with the land. The nomadic way of life is facing some real threats. Climate change is making winters harsher and summers even hotter, which makes it tough for nomads to find good grazing land for their animals. Droughts and dezuds, those are extreme winter weather events, can wipe out entire herds. And then there's the lack of infrastructure. Many nomadic communities don't have access to basic stuff: healthcare, education, even clean water. The government is trying to lend a helping hand. They're giving financial aid to nomadic families and working on improving infrastructure in rural areas, but honestly, more needs to be done. The future of this unique way of life depends on it. It's so important that we preserve this incredible culture. Despite the challenges, there's hope on the horizon. The vast and rugged Mongolian steppe, with its endless horizons and traditional jurs, is a place where ancient ways of life have persisted for centuries. But now, these age-old traditions are meeting the innovations of the modern world. Technology is actually helping nomads adapt to the 21st century. From smartphones to solar panels, these tools are becoming indispensable in their daily lives. Solar panels are now powering jurs. Those are traditional Mongolian tents, providing light and a way to charge mobile phones. This means that even in the most remote areas, nomads can stay connected and have access to essential information. And let me tell you, mobile phones are a lifeline for nomads. They use them to stay in touch with family and friends, get weather updates, and even check market prices. This connectivity is crucial for their survival and prosperity. They use them to stay in touch with family and friends, get weather updates, and even check market prices. This real-time information helps them make better decisions about their livestock and trade. Motorbikes are becoming more and more common too, making it easier for nomads to travel long distances, especially for things like healthcare and education. These motorbikes are not just a means of transportation, they are a symbol of the blending of old and new. But here's the thing, these technological advancements aren't replacing the traditional way of life. Instead, they are enhancing it, allowing nomads to maintain their cultural heritage while embracing the benefits of modernity. They're simply making it a bit easier for nomads to hold on to their culture and keep their traditions alive. This harmonious blend of the ancient and the modern is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the Mongolian people. Next stop, Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia. This city is a place of contrasts, where modern skyscrapers stand tall next to traditional Buddhist monasteries. It's a place where the old and the new are constantly bumping into each other. Ulaanbaatar is the heart of Mongolia's economy and culture. It's home to over half of the country's population, with people coming from all over seeking a better life. The city is this fascinating mix of urban and rural. It's not unusual to see nomads on horseback navigating city traffic, a truly unique sight. Ulaanbaatar is a city on the move, full of hope and potential, but it's also facing its fair share of challenges. Ulaanbaatar is bursting at the seams, struggling to keep up with its rapidly growing population. Jobs are scarce and finding a place to live is tough. Many people end up in Jir districts on the outskirts of the city, where they often lack basic services like running water and proper sanitation. This leads to poverty and a whole host of health problems. Air pollution is another big issue. In winter, the city is often blanketed in smog, mostly from coal-burning stoves used for heating. The government knows these are serious issues and is working hard to address them. They're investing in infrastructure projects and trying to clean up the air. Education is something that Mongolians hold in high regard. Families in rural areas often send their children to Ulaanbaatar for school because they believe that education is the key to a brighter future. And it's paying off. The literacy rate in Mongolia is over 98%, one of the highest in the world. Mongolia has this amazing tradition of oral storytelling, which has definitely played a role in their love of learning. Universities in Ulaanbaatar are seeing more and more students enrolling. Young people are eager to learn new skills and contribute to their country's development. Education is essential for Mongolia's future, helping to bridge the gap between urban and rural areas. Mongolia is sitting on a treasure trove of natural resources, copper, gold, coal, you name it. The mining industry is a major engine for economic growth, providing jobs and revenue that improve the lives of many Mongolians. But mining also comes with risks. Environmental damage is a serious concern, as mining can pollute water sources and disrupt wildlife. Finding the right balance is crucial. The government is working to ensure that mining is done responsibly by putting stricter environmental regulations in place. Mongolia is a parliamentary democracy, which means the people elect a parliament called the State Great Khural, and the parliament then appoints the government. Mongolia transitioned to democracy in 1990 after decades of communist rule. Since then, the country has made incredible strides. Freedom of speech and freedom of the press are guaranteed, allowing for open political discussion and debate. Like any young democracy, Mongolia faces challenges like corruption and political polarization. But the country is committed to democratic principles and is working towards a more just and equitable society. Mongolia is a country caught between two worlds, a place where ancient traditions meet the hustle and bustle of modern life. The age-old culture of nomadic herding exists alongside the skyscrapers and traffic jams of the city. Mongolia faces its share of challenges: climate change, poverty, urbanization. But the spirit of the Mongolian people shines through. They are resilient, resourceful, and determined to build a better future for themselves and for generations to come. Mongolia is a land of stark beauty, rich traditions, and warm hospitality. It's a true privilege to experience this unique corner of the world. The future of Mongolia is bright, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.